Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to this message today. I am on here today because I want to share with you over the past year my journey and talk a little bit about how I knew I wasn't okay. So, most of you know I am 54 years old and I am absolutely going through perimenopause. Lots of changes over the last couple of years. So, what started out back in, excuse me, February 2025 of me trying to find additional ways to help support my female clients within my thermography business to feel 5, 10, 15% better because I was hearing the stories day in, day out, how women were feeling and the frustration that they felt in trying to find ways to help support their bodies. But as human beings, right, we often tend to mirror back to one another what it is that we need. So little did I know at the time that as I was looking for ways to help support my clients, I was actually going to rescue myself. And so I was introduced to Dr. Tony Rodriguez and Alex Reynoso of Vital Health Global back in February of last year. I went to Mexico in March. I toured the labs, the manufacturing plants, etc. Now, for those of you who don't know, Vital Health Global is all about sovereign well-being, as well as using the gifts that Mother Nature has given us through plants, adaptogens, and micronutrients that can penetrate the cell and help to support the body. So before I even dig into here, I must say, right, that this is for educational, informational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure disease. And so that is out of the way. So I'm going to share with you my results. I want to keep this very short and sweet because I'm going to have a part 2 this evening at 7 p.m. And tonight at 7 p.m., I will share with you specifically what formulations I use to help support my body. So back in March 2025, you will see I have 2 charts here. It might be a little bit hard to see, but for those of you who truly want to take a good, clear look at what was going on, please message me. I have no problem sharing my data because it will help somebody else. So what you're seeing here is everything that showed up in yellow and red, which was my cellular data signal that was coming from my cells to say that this was there for a longer period of time. And it was like a radio signal, right? Your cells are just like a radio signal, just like us. And it's sending a message. And the yellows and reds send a stronger message that, there's your body is saying, hey, I need support here. And it's like your check engine light in your vehicle, right? When it comes on, it doesn't mean it's going to leave you stranded on the side of the road, but it's saying, hey, you might want to pay attention to me because there's something a little off here before I leave you stranded on the side of the road. So back in March, I knew that I wasn't feeling well. You know your body. But what was frustrating is that it was always coming around to, yeah, that's perimenopause. Yeah, that's perimenopause. And I get it. There are so many symptoms of perimenopause, and we won't get into that today because that in of itself is a full day talk. But I knew that things were going in a direction and I was still eating well. I had been exercising up to this point, but there was major shifts happening in my body and I couldn't get my arms wrapped around it. So being introduced to Vital Health and the quantum biofeedback scanner, which allows you to receive the body signals that are coming to you, because again, we live in a time frame where we have gotten away from listening to what our bodies are saying because we're so busy on the go, go, go all the time. Um, but this was a way for me to capture the data that I could make some informed decisions. And what you're seeing here is that I had 33 items that were out of alignment from moderate to severe. Now, a couple of things that I knew there was something going on, and I will share this openly, is that my brain nerve function was very, very low. It was barely registered. So it was quite severe. So when people talk about brain fog, right, I had that. But here's what was interesting. So it barely registered on the quantum scan, but here's what happened, right? Prior to this, I knew because I had been going to a clinic in the morning driving. I was almost to Fredericton and I did the, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be in PEI. That's how bad the brain fog got. Those were some of the defining moments of I went, oh my gosh, like there is something so severe happening here. And then when it showed up in the quantum scan, right, it correlated. My gut health issues I was having correlated. The feelings I was having correlated with cardiovascular. Again, this is not diagnostic, but it's your body signaling system. Okay. Collagen markers, fat metabolism. I mean, I was gaining weight and yet I was still eating, 80%, I have an 80-20 rule, right? So I was still doing my regular eating. I was still exercising. Everything I felt like was falling apart. But little did I know it was just falling into place for, the meeting with Vital Health. And so 33 items, guys, that I had that were my body was saying, you need to help me here. Okay. And of course, I was doing vitamins and, supplements, and I was doing, preventative, things as well too, like chiropractic, acupuncture, all those things. Okay. So I knew better, and I'm very blessed that I have beautiful people in my life that do these wonderful modalities. So when this all happened, I decided, okay, I'm going to clear the noise. Done. So I started using the formulations from Vital Health that are specific to my body signals, okay, to what my body required. Now, remember, your body does the healing. There is no pill or supplement in the world that will ever heal your body. Your body does the healing. What's important is to make sure that you're giving the right nutrients and the right support to your body to do the healing. So I was throwing things at my body, and I'm sure many of you can relate. Watch a TikTok video or this or that, and someone say, "Oh, this is really good for you." So off I'd run to the health food store. You get it, but nothing was making a difference. It wasn't sticking because you see, I wasn't supporting my unique body signals. So I started using Dr. Tony's formulation specifically for what my body needed to support it. I did Bowen therapy every single month to help support my nervous system. So Linda Daphne Ward, which she'll be on here in 2 weeks, I'll be doing an interview with her to talk about my journey with her. I did it every single month. And I also did a few appointments of my osteopathy. Okay. So that was last year, 2025. Fast forward April 2026. So I'm really happy to share with you. I feel like $1,000,000. I'm 54. I feel better now than I did, I think, when I was in my 40s, to be honest with you. You start to forget how good feels, right? So as you can see, it's a much smaller list now when you compare 2025 in March to April 2026. So now I have 9 things that are still not in the green or blue. However, they're so much closer to being at that green blue stage. And I'll tell you, I feel it. In addition to that, in January, I had blood work done, and my blood work, is within all of these ranges as well too. So it goes to show, right, with my blood work, the data signaling system, and the work that I did over the past year, that it truly supported my body to what my body required. Because remember, every body is different, and every body requires very specific support. So again, I'm going to leave you with this tonight. Join me at 7 o'clock. I'm going to jump on at 7. I'm going to share the stacks that I use to help support myself with herbs and adaptogens, and how I was able to turn that around. I'm also going to talk tonight too about my use of HRT, right? Bioidentical HRT, because that was also part of this, right? So as I was going through this, I was adding, progesterone, and it didn't work well for me, but there was a very specific reason why it didn't work well for me. There's also a very specific reason why back, 6 years ago, what led me to thermography was my breast health scare. Why what was going on with my breast health at the time is also linked to a lot of information that I found out by doing the body signaling system and being able to support my body in ways that I never even knew it was possible. All right. So if you want more information on this, you want to get your scan done yourself, please reach out. I love doing this. This is my passion in life. And that is about sharing my own experiences and helping others with health, well-being, because you were put here on this earth not to suffer. You were put here on this earth to experience joy, to live and have experiences, but not experiences of, getting older and someone saying to you, "Oh, that's just you getting older, learn to live with it." I call BS on that. So much love to all of you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock.